Hi, it looks like we're live on this week's Ask Me Anything. As usual, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but looks like things are going pretty good. Doesn't look like there's anyone in the chat. I am currently speaking to myself right now. So I will just start this off. This isn't Ask Me Anything, so there isn't like a set agenda for this talk. This is just to kind of answer people's questions. If you guys want to come in, if you have anything that you want to know about. Oh, cool. Looks like sounds great. All right, cool. So we got sound, we got video. So I'll just take this moment to kind of just show you guys some things until we get some people in here. So yeah, let me just switch this over to the monitor shot. See, I got Chrome up right here. So we got Ledger Live. So let me just go ahead and start showing you some things in Ledger Live, just so we have some content in this video before we get some people. Looks like we do have one person, Henry. If you have any questions, feel free to add them in, and I'll go ahead and answer those. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of. Oh, looks like we got people rolling in. Okay, we got people rolling in. So go ahead and fire your questions down, and yeah, I'll do my best to answer. It's just me today, so just the one person, but I'll do my best to handle all the questions that come up. So yeah, let me know. Okay, no problem. Well, it looks like we don't have any questions yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and continue on with what I was going to show you, and that is really just kind of to show you guys Ledger Live, the Nano, and talk a little bit about the nature of Ledger Live and recovery phrases and how things work, just to kind of kick things off. So let's start this off. So it's a little bit different than the normal onboardings that we do. For the US team, we do those on Fridays, and that's where we go through the entire setup process for the Nano. So for the AMA, my Nano is actually already fully set up with the recovery phrase. You'll see it's asking me for my PIN. I plugged it in, it's asking me for my PIN. That means that it's already set up. And so, oh, looks like we do have a question. Let's see, it looks like Mr. Vault is asking for a discount code. I have 2 Nano S and I want to update them to the Plus. One of the videos said that you do this. Yeah, definitely. So if you have old Nano S's that are like outside of the 2-year warranty, reach out to us. Go to support.ledger.com, fill out a ticket, and hit the contact us button at the bottom. Then go through and answer all the chatbot questions until you actually get connected to one of us, and let us know, and we can actually give you a discount code for that. I'm not going to do it here over the chat, because if I blast out a discount code to the chat, it'll be first come, first serve. So we're going to want to do that on a private channel. So the only way to do that is through our support channel. So yeah, go to support.ledger.com, open up a ticket, and we'll definitely get you some discount codes so you can upgrade to the Nano S Plus. All right, looks like we got another question rolling in. Fairly new to it from Mort PG. Fairly new to it, would love to see steps on how to sell crypto live when the time comes. That's a good question. Let me go ahead. So in Ledger Live, the only crypto that you can actually sell in Ledger Live is Bitcoin. So if you have other cryptos that you want to sell, you can perform swaps for other, like from one asset to another. Like if you have Ethereum assets, you can use the Paraswap or 1inch to actually swap for other assets. And then alternatively, if you have other layer ones, you can usually swap using Changely, which is another provider that we have in Ledger Live. But to actually sell for fiat, to like get like dollars or cash for your crypto, if it's not Bitcoin, you're gonna have to actually send that to an exchange to do that. So I can show you real quick right here in Ledger Live. I got it pulled up. So you'd go here to the buy sell tab. I don't currently have Bitcoin, so it's kind of in my my work Ledger Live account, so it's kind of hard for me to actually show you. But you'd go to this buy sell tab right here. You're going to compare the providers. You're going to that one. Oh, that's on buy. So you're going to want to go to sell. So you can see Bitcoin right here is defaulted. It's the only option. So I do have a Bitcoin account, actually. I have some Bitcoin accounts set up, but they all have zero Bitcoin in them. But so what you want to do is you want to select the Bitcoin account that you would want to sell from, and then continue. And then right now you can use Coinify to sell. So you would choose Coinify, and then it would open up to this page right here. obviously you see it's grayed out for me. I don't have any Bitcoin in this this account, so I can't actually sell any. But this is how you would offboard from Bitcoin straight through Ledger Live. But otherwise, as I was saying, if you have other cryptocurrencies, you would want to actually send them to the exchange to sell them. And if you do have more questions about like swaps or whatever, bring it up in the chat and I'll try to get to it. And if I show you how the swap page works, but let's move on for now. All right. Let's see. Pauline, I keep asking for help for my Ledger 2.54 version and it's not working. I submitted a ticket and keep getting same step-by-step process, but it doesn't work. Ledger website says my OS has to be, it looks like you got cut off, but has to be updated. So I guess my follow-up question for you, Pauline, looks like you do that. Minimum Windows 10, which is what I have, but Ledger, so you're experiencing kind of a unique issue. So with a very small handful of users, and we haven't pinpointed exactly what's causing this, but we do have a workaround for it. Quite lengthy. So basically what this is an error message. You're not crazy. So basically what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go in, you're going to have to do some additional steps to fix the settings on your computer that are causing this error message to throw. And we all have a good macro for it with all the steps to show you how to do that. I don't believe we have a support article for it yet, but if you once again go to support.ledger.com, open up a ticket. We actually just recently burned down our backlog, so the wait time shouldn't be too long getting to us, and we'll give you those steps and we'll get that fixed for you. If you have to, ask for Tim from the US team. If the agent isn't able to help you, just be like, hey, send me to Tim, and they'll do that, and I'll give you those steps myself. But it's a little long for this. I don't think it'll fit in the chat. So reach out to us and we'll help you get that sorted out. All right, All right, so Kevin Tran says, hi, if someone knows my recovery phrase, what happens to my Ledger Live when they send my assets out or my assets in Ledger Live are changed? So that's a really good question, Kevin. So your recovery phrase is where all your accounts are derived from. And it's also the master private key to your accounts. So what Ledger Live is your crypto is not actually stored in Ledger Live. I know it seems like it is when you're looking at the Ledger Live interface, but really all that's happening is when you add an account to Ledger Live, you are deriving the wallet address for your account using your recovery phrase that's stored inside your Nano, your master private key stored inside your Nano. It takes that public wallet address and it gives it to Ledger Live, and then Ledger Live is able to ping the Block Explorer and pull in your account data. So let me show you what I'm talking about. We'll come here to Ledger Live. I believe I already have some accounts here. All right, so you'll see I have this ETH account right here. Let me close this to make it more easy to see. So you see I have this ETH account right here with some ETH in it and a couple tokens. So this account, actually, I'm going to go like this and show you. I'm just going to remove it from Ledger Live. Gone. And so if you look down right here, this is the Nano actually that owns that account. So the recovery phrase stored in this Nano is the same recovery phrase that I used to create that account. So let me enter my PIN real quick, unlock my device. Okay, I'm going to preemptively open up the Ethereum application so I can add my account back in. So right now, I go up here to add account. I'm going to choose Ethereum. So right now it's syncing with my Nano, and it is deriving the public wallet address that can be derived from the recovery phrase in this Nano. Now, it's never actually going to share the recovery phrase with Ledger Live. It's never actually going to share the private keys with Ledger Live, only the public wallet address. And as you can see here, this is the exact same balance that I had before, because the crypto is not actually in Ledger Live or on the Nano for that matter. The crypto is actually just on the blockchain. And so your Nano, the master key in your Nano derives the wallet address for your crypto account. Ledger Live pings the blockchain and pulls in that information to display for you here. So that's kind of how that works. So let me, I got a little off topic. Okay, so if someone were to steal your recovery phrase, that means that they would be able to access your account the same way that, that you would from Ledger Live. Let me show you a further example to really hammer this home. I'm gonna come in here to MetaMask. I'm gonna open it up, type in my password. So in MetaMask right here, it's on the hot wallet. Here's the same exact ETH account right here. So you can see it's the same balance, exact same wallet address. So what I did here was I went through these steps to connect my hardware wallet, and I imported my ETH address into MetaMask, which is actually the same exact step that I just went through to import it into Ledger Live. It's the same thing. And you can see here's the wallet address right here with the balance. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel because I already have it in here. Here's my link right here that you can see that from Ledger Live. So basically, if someone were to get a hold of your recovery phrase, they would be able to, one, import it into a Nano if they wanted to, but they wouldn't even need to do that. You could actually import the recovery phrase straight into any wallet, such as MetaMask. MetaMask will accept a 24-word recovery phrase, and then they would be able to see exactly what you just saw, your same assets, and they would be able to transact those out of your account. And now in Ledger Live, it would simply disappear. It would just show up. Ledger Live would report it as an outgoing transaction. Let me switch back to show you. Down here in the ETH account, you would just open up Ledger Live one day and you would see this. You would see an outgoing sent transaction for your full balance of ETH right here. Obviously, this right here is ETH that I sent from this wallet to another one. But that's what you would see, and it would be very it could be very alarming because you can be like, I didn't authorize that transaction. But that's kind of, it all ties into what I was talking about before, where Ledger Live doesn't have your crypto, MetaMask doesn't have your crypto, your Nano doesn't even have your crypto. Your Nano only has your recovery phrase, which derives your accounts and lets you sign transactions from your accounts. But your crypto is only on the blockchain. And so any wallet software that can accept a 24-word recovery phrase and have that imported in can access your exact same funds. So you can do this, or someone else can do this. So always keep your recovery phrase safe. Let's move on to the next question. Get a little like heavy-winded when talking about recovery phrases, but it's the most important part of all of this. So it really can't be understated enough, overstated enough. Let's see. All right, so SWT is asking, hi, I bought Matic Polygon and it's listed under Ethereum tokens, but I see now that there is a Polygon account. Does this matter? And should I have sent my Polygon Matic to that account as opposed to the other? This is another excellent question, and I actually already have my Ledger Live set up to show this, because we get these questions usually pretty frequently. So let me switch here, back to Ledger Live. All right, check it out. So you'll see here, I've got this ETH account, and I've also got this Polygon account right here. So you'll see I have them labeled ETH-S+. They're both labeled the same thing. However, one is the purple Polygon logo, which is the Polygon mainnet, and the other one is the Ethereum mainnet. So now if I open up the, actually I don't even want to do that. I want to just show the tokens right. I'm going to open up the tokens. So I actually used to have this balance of Matic right here, this 37 Matic, actually used to be in this ETH account right here. It's still showing it here, but I actually bridged it over. So what you're seeing here, it's a little confusing, but what you're seeing here is you're seeing that Polygon is an EVM chain, Ethereum virtual machine, built on top of Ethereum. And so it actually shares the exact same wallet address, as long as if you create an Ethereum account and a Polygon account with the exact same recovery phrase, the same Nano with the same recovery phrase, it's going to have the exact same wallet address. And I'll just go ahead and show you that. So we're going to go here. We'll open up a Polygon account. I'm going to go to receive. And, oh, nope, there we go. Continue. And then it wants me to open the Polygon app here on the Nano. I'll go ahead and do that by pressing both buttons. You can also click don't have your device, but I always like to do this and actually go through the Nano just to make sure I'm always deriving the correct wallet address. It likely will always derive the correct wallet address, but if you do have certain malware on your computer, it's cause for some concern. And so it's always good to go through the steps to actually verify your address. So you'll see this is 0x2f8c. We're going to skip just for the sake of this demonstration, and then 08c1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just approve that to make that go away. And we're going to go back to the Ethereum account. We're going to receive here. And now it's going to close the Polygon app. It's going to open the Ethereum app. And it's going to generate the exact same wallet address, 0x2f8. 08C1. So now I'm going to go ahead and copy that wallet address. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you the different block explorers. So we'll go to Etherscan first. Etherscan is the Ethereum block explorer, the main one. There's several, but this is the main one that most people like to use. It's a fantastic tool. So basically, I just copied my Ethereum wallet address, put it into here, and this is going to show me all my assets on the Ethereum blockchain. You can see here I got this balance of ETH right here, and it even shows to far more digits than Ledger Live displays. That's because this is pulling data directly from the blockchain. Same as Ledger Live, same as MetaMask, same as anyone else that has your public wallet address. This is where the information comes from. So then here's the ETH value. You can see there's one token in the account, which is the chain link. And then down here, you can see all my transaction IDs. So this is Ethereum mainnet. Now, if I go here and I go to polygonscan.com, which is the Polygon block explorer, I put in the exact same wallet address, and you can see now it's pulling up a balance of Matic, and it's showing my Matic value. And I even have a little bit of DAI in this account, 78 cents worth of DAI. I'm a big whale, I'm a big DAI whale over here. So you can see that the addresses are the same, different networks, same address, different holdings. Let me switch back real quick. And so that's really confusing at first for people to like kind of wrap their heads around. But basically, the key takeaway is if you're using the same nano with the same recovery phrase and you're generating different types of blockchains accounts in Ledger Live, any of them that are EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine based, built and based on Ethereum, will actually have the same wallet address. So like Binance Smart Chain, that will have the same wallet address. Trying to think of another one. Well, there's a bunch. There's a whole bunch. But they'll all have the same wallet address. And so to really answer your question, because you're probably like, okay, well, thanks for all that explanation, but how the heck do I get it back over to the correct wallet? So this will be a step during the withdrawal phase from the exchange that you bought it from. It'll actually ask you, they all look a little different, so I don't know what exchange you're using, but they'll usually all have an option that'll say which network to withdraw it over. And so if you select Polygon network, it's going to send it over the Polygon network. If you select the Ethereum network or ERC20 network, which is the same thing, it's going to send it over the Ethereum mainnet. So really the only way to get it like cross network is to bridge it in some way. You can't just send from one account to another at this point because they have the same wallet address and they're on. So if you were to try to send your Matic from your Polygon account to your ETH account, it's just going to send to yourself and you're going to spend money in gas doing that. So the easiest way to do it without burdening people with too much like headache or whatever is to actually send it back to the exchange and then re-withdraw it over the network that you want into the wallet that you want. You can use a bridge. You can use, in fact, I use the Plasma bridge to get these assets over. Not because I necessarily wanted to, but just because or not necessarily because it's the best way to do it, but just because I wanted to go through that process. But with bridges, there can be slippage, there can be greater fees. It can take a long time. Things can go wrong. And so we don't typically recommend using bridges except for more advanced users that have more experience with it. So honestly, the easiest way to do it is just to send it back to the exchange, Coinbase, Binance, whatever you use, and just send it back over the different network from there. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, Mr. Vault's asking, how can I add NFT on Polygon account? Thank you for your answer. Yeah, no problem. All right, so you actually can. Ledger Live actually is fully supports Polygon NFTs. So I'll show you. Let me go back to the thing here. I think I got some NFTs in this wallet. So we'll open up the Matic account. Yeah, and you can see right here. Yeah, actually, oh, look, I have some Ledger business cards. That's right. I totally forgot about these. So I got these sweet Ledger business cards on the Polygon network right here that I can send to people at conferences and stuff. So as you can see, it does fully support NFTs. I don't think I have any NFTs in this ETH wallet. Nah, no NFTs. But it would look the same in Ethereum. So yeah, so all you have to do is you don't have to do anything special to get your NFTs into your Matic account, all you have to do is send them to your Polygon address, and they'll just show up just like this in your non-fungible token collection, and then you can manage them from there. All right. Yes. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this name. Muhsin Kalavi. Hope I said that correctly. You're asking about Cardano, and you said your Cardano stuck. How to make it go in Ledger, basically. Yeah, we're experiencing a little minor network issue with Cardano. It's got nothing to do with your actual accounts, and I'll show you how this works here in a minute. But basically, our own internal node is some transactions are getting stuck on Cardano. So if this is happening to you, it'll look like, I don't have an example for you to show you right here, but it'll say you'll go to initiate a transaction for Cardano, and then it'll look like it's broadcasting the transaction. It'll show you the transaction details in Ledger Live, but then it'll say pending, or it'll say not confirmed. And if that's the case, what you want to do is you want to copy the transaction ID. Let me go here. You want to copy the transaction ID, and then you want to go here, and you want to go to Cardano. I think it's Cardano Scan, but let's just verify. We're going to go to CoinGecko. We're going to go to Cardano, which is right here. And then this is the best way to find the best block explorer for any crypto you're looking for. You'll see this info over here on the right. You'll see the explorers, and this is how you find the relevant block explorer for whatever. So I always usually just go through here. Obviously Etherscan, I do that like 1,000 times a day, so I have it memorized. But yeah, so this is cardanoscan.io. Then you would copy your transaction ID and you'd put it here into this search bar, and then you search for it. And if it doesn't show up here, if it says sorry, no results found, no transaction details found, that means that your transaction is stuck in Ledger Live and has not actually been broadcasted to the network yet. As I said, we are working on it, and this will get fixed. But this also doesn't mean that your Cardano is stuck in Ledger Live. There's always a workaround. So let me show you the workaround. Go back here. So you've just confirmed that, okay, well, Ledger Live saying that it's pending, but it hasn't gone to the Block Explorer. Okay, so what do I do? So you're going to want to come here. You're going to want to connect your Nano. Let's actually open up the Help Center article for it so I can show you. And we actually have an article that shows how to connect your Ledger to the Eternal wallet. The Eternal wallet is a really cool Cardano wallet that exists outside of Ledger Live. And if you were here a minute ago, then you might remember that I was talking about the process of adding accounts both into Ledger Live and into MetaMask. And so, let me switch back. See me talking. And so what you're doing in those steps is you're only sharing the public wallet address in order to access, in order to give the UI, let the UI display your assets for you, and then let you manage your assets through that user interface. And then you'll always need to sign your transaction with your Nano, though. That's the key for connecting your Nano to all these different wallets, is as long as you go through the correct process of doing this and never, ever, ever import your recovery phrase, then you'll always have to sign with your hardware wallet. And it's actually still technically considered cold storage because your assets are still, your private keys for your accounts are still protected by your Nano device. So let me show you what this process looks like. Okay, so back here. So my Ledger Live is up to date. My firmware is up to date. I check it every single day. So we're going to download the Eternal extension. You actually don't even have to do that. We can just go here, because I already have the Eternal extension. So I want to just go here. So we're going to go straight to the web wallet. You can do it either way. You can the extension is great. The extension is great because then you can just access it like this. And you can see I already have a wallet connected right here. But I want to go through the steps to show you. So let's see. Let's see if we can remove this. To reset the app. I understand. gonna make me actually type it out. Reset eternal number. Okay, totally resetting my eternal. Okay, so now let me go here to the Nano. And so whenever accessing a web wallet and connecting your Nano, you want to preempt, before you do anything in the web wallet, you want to preemptively have your Nano connected to your computer, unlocked with your PIN, and you want to have the applicable app opened up. And if anybody has any questions about these Nano apps, and like what their purpose is, go ahead and drop it in the thread. I do not mind covering this because it's really important. But I won't go too into detail here on it. But okay, so you got the Cardano app opened. We want to add a wallet. We're going to choose hardware wallet, and we have a Nano X. Oh, actually, it's a Nano S Plus, but this supports all three of our devices. We're going to go next. We're going to save this, and we're going to go next. And that's a fine name for our wallet for this demonstration. We're going to save it, and just like that. So just now, what we did was I don't have any Cardano. If you have Cardano in your Ledger Live account, when you go through those steps that I just showed you, it's going to add the exact same account from Ledger Live into Eternal. And then once here, you can actually initiate a send, enter the receiving address. You can perform swaps, you can stake, you can do anything that you can from Ledger Live, you can do from here. And so this is a way for you to bypass the issue of your transaction being stuck in Ledger Live. Since we know that your transaction is not being broadcasted to the network, at least I suspect, I haven't confirmed this, but if you do go through those steps that I showed you and you're able to confirm that, then you'll be able to know for a fact that, okay, this is just a Ledger Live issue. Let's bypass that. Let's connect to Eternal and let's get my transaction sent. And it should work. So yeah, try that out and let us know how that goes. Okay. Okay, cool. More PG, that's awesome. Yeah, so so you can use Coinify. Coinify is it is a centralized exchange. It's a centralized body. All of the providers in Ledger Live, not all the providers, and I'll explain more in a minute, but most of them are actually third-party companies that we partnered with to be able to give more features in Ledger Live to our users, like such as buy, sell, swap. But these actions are still governed by regulation, and so it does have to. You may have to do like KYC, identity verification, to do this. But it's definitely an option for you straight in Ledger Live. And one cool thing about that, about the ability to do this in Ledger Live, is that it takes away the need to have to send your Bitcoin to an exchange, like physically send it to an exchange, sell it, and then withdraw. With this, you'd be able to just sell it straight from your account all through Ledger Live without even having to transfer it. So it is convenient for some users. But yeah, that's good. Okay, let's see. All right, so SWT is following up with, also, I don't have any Ethereum on my ledger yet, but when I do, should I choose the same ETH account that has my tokens listed under it to send my ETH? Yes. So basically, to send tokens or ETH to your ETH account, it's just going to be your Ethereum wallet address. If you generate your receive address from one of the tokens in your wallet, in your ETH account, it's just going to generate the exact same address. So you can just do the receive straight to your ETH address, any ERC20 token or ETH, and you'll be just fine. So Ron Hart, how do you get assets off the blockchain with the 24-word key? That's a good question. It's impossible. Assets cannot be removed from a blockchain. So the assets always exist on the blockchain. And it's a very complicated concept to try to kind of wrap your head around. But think about it like this. Think of a blockchain as being simply just a ledger of transactions. So like, this wallet address owns, let's say wallet address A owns 10 coins. Wallet address B owns 3 coins. Wallet address A sends 1 coin to wallet address B. Wallet address A now has 9 coins. Wallet address B now has 4 coins. And that is literally how your crypto exists on the blockchain. So it can never be removed. It's not like a physical thing. Like your coins are not like, they can never be converted into anything physical or tangible in the real world. They are just an immutable transaction on a ledger that cannot be altered or changed, which makes it your assets. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of, it's a crazy concept to kind of like wrap your head around. You know, we come from a world, a physical world where our money can be, you know, converted into something physical, but this is a kind of a new concept. I hope that helps. But if you have any follow-up questions to that, go ahead and drop them in here and I'll do my best to clarify. Okay, cool. Pauline, you got a ticket. Awesome. Awesome. SWT, no, it doesn't matter which account you have your tokens in. I take that back. It could matter which account you have your tokens in. Depends what you want to do with them. If you're trying to stake your Matic and earn yield on it, you actually have to have your Matic unintuitively on the Ethereum blockchain. So the only way Matic can be staked is if it's a token in your Ethereum wallet, and then you connect to the staking.polygon something, the staking website for Polygon. You'll be able to stake your Polygon there. But if you want to hold NFTs in your on the Polygon mainnet in your Polygon wallet, and you want to do transactions from the Polygon mainnet, you're going to want your Polygon in your Polygon wallet. That way you can pay the network transaction fees and convert it, do whatever you have to do with ease from the actual account. However, if you're just buying and holding and you're not really looking to like interact with any DeFi protocols or dApps or like anything, you're just a hodler, then it technically doesn't really matter. Either way, your tokens are secure. I will say that having it as a token on Ethereum, not to get too technical, this is technically not the same thing as having it on the Polygon blockchain. This is actually it's an ERC20 token, so it's basically a wrapped version. So it's not exactly the same thing, but it's still safe. Like it's still okay. Whatever your preference is probably okay. Okay. Go to the next question. All right. So Tom Cam asks, if someone steals your 24 words and inputs them in a ledger, what happens to yours? Do you get any message that another person is activating your key? You do not. You will not get alerted at all. The only notification that you will get is when you open up Ledger Live and you see that your assets are removed. And the reason for this is it may seem kind of crazy that this isn't a feature, but keep in mind and remember when you were setting up your Nano that we never once asked you for your identity. You could buy, so customers of the US, customers of some other in Canada, and I think in parts of Europe too, can go to Best Buy and buy a physical device with cash, never give any of your identity. You can set that up and you can access your account. You can access Web3 without even having to give up your identity. So it's really important to us at Ledger to let our users have their autonomy. And so, but that means that there's really no way to alert you because your Nano doesn't really care what recovery phrase you put in it. And your crypto accounts on the blockchain don't really care where your recovery phrase is. It's just whoever has the recovery phrase can access those accounts. You hear the term "not your keys, not your crypto," and that is, I know it's probably like a cliche term that you've heard a million times, and you're like, oh man, that old phrase again. But like, there's a lot of significance to that phrase because this means that if someone were to steal your 24-word recovery phrase, they're now the owners of those crypto accounts. And there's really there's no recourse for that. It's whoever holds the keys holds the crypto. On that same vein, you can import a recovery phrase into as many different nanos as you want. You can create 1,000 copies of your recovery phrase in 1,000 different nanos, and any one of those nanos will be able to access the exact same accounts with the exact same level of ease. And it's it's the power of self-custody, but with great power comes great responsibility. Drop a Spider-Man reference on you guys. But it's very important to understand these concepts. I hope that helps. If you have any follow-up questions, drop them, and I'll answer as best I can. Ron Hart's asking, why don't you guys use phones? Do you mean like phone support, like for like live support on phone calls, or do you mean why do we not have our hardware integrated into a phone? Those are two different questions. I think maybe you mean the latter. And so I can't get into too much detail on this. It's super technical, but basically, as of right now, it's just not really possible. This is kind of a little bit above my pay grade. But basically, when it comes to a cell phone and primarily the screen on the cell phone, it's so on the Nano, the screen is tied directly to the secure element chip, and there's no way to alter the information. There's no way to hack this device, partly because of the simplicity of the device. When it comes to a cell phone, some cell phones do have some secure element chips, but it would require a complete rework of everything to get that to work, including partnerships that do not exist. So this may be a thing in the future. Definitely be on the lookout for it. And we're always working on new stuff. But as of right now, it's just the devices, and this is how you'll sign your transaction securely. Yeah, that's a good question. Oh man, Yaniv. Sorry if I butchered your name. You asked when can we expect for MetaMask and Ledger to work together on iOS? That is a fantastic question. It is in the work. We've been saying this forever. It is in the works, but there's a lot that goes into extending support for MetaMask Mobile and Ledger, and a lot of security concerns that need to be addressed and need to be hammered out. And so it is taking some time to roll this out, but it will eventually become a thing. It's definitely a high priority, and there will be a solution for this soon-ish. I wish I can give you a more exact time frame on that, but I think our developers would kill me if I tried to throw out any kind of like actual prediction or number. But just know that it is being worked on, and yeah, so hopefully that's a thing soon. I wish I can give you more on that. All right, so Bill LS is asking, how do I get HBAR on my Ledger Nano X? Great question. So HBAR it's a little confusing, but I'll try to keep it pretty high level. So Ledger Live does support HBAR. You can create an HBAR account in Ledger Live, and you can store your assets there. However, the Hedera blockchain uses Hashgraph technology, which Ledger Live doesn't recognize. It's not compatible with our Ledger Live application. And so the only way to create an account on the Hedera blockchain, like initially create the account, is through specific wallets that are set up to do so. And so when you create your HBAR account, it actually will generate a different kind of public key. It'll be like zero. It won't be the usual hex like 0x, like an ETH address. It'll be the 0.0.1. It'll look a little funny. And Ledger Live isn't able to derive this type of wallet address initially. It's not able to create that account on the Hedera blockchain. So you have to go through a pretty confusing process. Although I will say we do have a very nice support article that we just recently totally revamped that shows all the steps. There's even like a video that shows the steps. I can go ahead and pull that up for you and drop it here. Oh yeah. To create oh, there it is. Create Hedera account with Hashpack. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to first go into Ledger Live and install the Hedera app on your Nano. There is a Hedera app available. Go to the My Ledger tab, install that app. That will let your Nano, give your Nano the tools to communicate with the blockchain. So then you'll need to go to the Hashpack website, connect your Nano, and create your account. Once your account's created, you can then connect your Nano back to Ledger Live and add your account into Ledger Live. And so let me go ahead and share this article with you right now. Okay, so I just dropped it in the chat. So you should see it there. That's the article you're going to want to follow. It's pretty long, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It'll take a few steps, but you'll get it. And if you do have any issues with it, just reach out to us on support, and we'll identify where the issue happened and give you some possible troubleshooting steps to get through it. All right, let's see what else we got. Melvin Top is asking, how do you check the authenticity of your ledger? I will show you this. Let me switch back here. Big monitor view. Okay, so let me exit out of, put on an app, break the connection. Also, actually, I don't think I connected to the My Ledger tab. So basically, the way you'll know that your ledger is authentic, let me put the password back in, or the PIN code, I mean. Okay, you got your Nano here unlocked. You come down here to the My Ledger tab. Anytime you connect to the My Ledger tab, it's going to perform what's called a genuine check. And the genuine check, see how it says allow Ledger Manager on the screen? And then right here it says allow a secure connection with Ledger. So when you authorize that by pressing both buttons, right now it's loading, it's doing the genuine check. So if this device had any firmware or any hardware or anything that isn't that Ledger Live doesn't expect to see, like if someone tampered with the device in any way at all, then you're going to fail this genuine check. And you won't be able to get into the My Ledger tab, which you won't be able to install these apps, which means that you will not be able to create accounts, and essentially your Nano will be, it's useless. It won't be able to interact at all. And so so that's how you check. That's how you check that your Nano is authentic and that it's genuine. And as long as you pass the genuine check, then you're good. Pass genuine check, you're able to install apps, create your accounts. You're good to go. When will Ledger become a pool operator or staking validator for DOT? That's a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know if there's any plans. That kind of happens outside of the support channels, business decisions such as that. I do know that from a support standpoint, Polkadot is extremely confusing, and especially when it comes to staking, there's a lot of nuances to it, and it's highly technical. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but it would be really cool if it was. Yeah, so let's see what else lots of questions rolling in. Ooh, I hope I get to all of them. I need to speed things up here. You're very welcome, MortPG. I'm happy to help. Let's see. 808 Biggie is asking, what does ClearCache do? On BitHump, Nano1 says, I have 50,000 Flare on 0x1. I go to MetaMask, I connect wallet, Nano1 shows me my other MetaMask accounts with smaller Flare amounts / not available. So that's kind of a lot to unpack. Your first question, what does ClearCache do? When you clear cache in Ledger Live, all that does is it forces your accounts to sync back up with the blockchain. So I talked earlier about how your crypto is not actually in Ledger Live. Ledger Live is just pulling that information in from the blockchain to display it for you and let you manage it. And sometimes there's inconsistency. Sometimes, if a user has a VPN running on their computer, or if they have network connection issues, or if you just have a whole bunch of accounts in Ledger Live, and it can cause sync errors. And so if you are experiencing syncing errors, synchronization errors, where your balance, your balance is one thing, but it's displaying something else, or it's not displaying a balance, but it's there, that's when you would want to clear your cache. That would force your accounts to sync back up with the blockchain and display the correct information. All right, so furthermore, on BitHump, Nano1 says I have 50,000 Flare on that address. I go to MetaMask, I connect wallet, Nano1, it shows me other MetaMask accounts with smaller. So it sounds like you have some weird account stuff going on. It would take a little bit of unpacking to find out exactly what's happening. We're definitely capable of helping you figure that out. But it would require us to request your wallet addresses for your various accounts and to ask more personal information for how your crypto setup is. That way we can get an idea of kind of how to help you with that. I wouldn't want to do that here over this live stream in front of everybody else. So for that, definitely open up a ticket and we'll get you taken care of. All right, let's see. Is XDC any closer to being supported in Ledger Live? That's a good question. XDC is another one of those blockchains that it's pretty complicated. And so I can't say for certain whether it is. I do know that it's being worked on, and I do know that progress has been made. However, at this point, the best way to manage your XDC is going to be through either My Crypto Wallet or My Ether Wallet. I think My Crypto Wallet's a little bit better, but either one will work. In some cases, you can even manage it through MetaMask, and we have support articles for all that. But you probably already know that. But if you do want me to drop a support article that shows you how to connect through any of those wallets, let me know and I'll drop it in the comments. SWT, you're very welcome. Happy to help. Do I need to write everything down before clear cache? No, no. Clearing your cache. So if anything changes when you clear your cache, it'll now be reporting the correct number. So if you want to, you can take a screenshot of what it's showing before. That way you can see like a before and after. But if there is a change, that means that your account's synced up properly and it's now displaying the correct amount. So never will there be a case where clearing your cache causes anything to go missing or causes anything to like actually be gone from your accounts. It doesn't actually affect your actual crypto accounts. It's just helping Ledger Live communicate better with the blockchain, if that makes sense. Here. All right. Dylan B's asking, wouldn't you think AI can try and steal people's seed phrases with trial and error over and over again? Certainly, yeah. A lot of people actually are trying this, but it's not really possible to do that. I guess technically, like, you know, if you try over and over, you can get lucky and find a seed phrase that's got funds on it, but it's so unlikely that it's basically impossible. And the reason for that is when you think about a 24-word seed phrase, I don't know, I can't remember the actual math. So it's not, so normally let me back up a little bit. So all seed phrases are derived from the same list of words. It's 2,048 total possible words, and it's called the BIP 39 word list. That's where all seed phrases come from. So basically you have 2,048 total possible words. You have 24 characters. So intuitively it would be 2,048 to the power of 24 total possible combinations that, that can be derived as far as seed phrases. And that number, I mean, you can try to do it on a calculator. It's actually, the number is actually a little bit different than that because the final word, the 24th word, is a checksum that is used to verify the previous words. And then there are certain strings within the 24-word recovery phrase that can only be certain words. So the math is slightly less than that. But if you do that on the calculator, you're going to get a number that doesn't even have a name for it because there's like, I don't even know. I'd have to look at it. There's a crazy amount of combinations. And so it's actually like, it's like more possible combinations than there are atoms in the known universe. So it's like the idea of someone randomly guessing, AI, supercomputer, anything, randomly guessing someone's seed phrase is like, it's not going to happen. It's borderline. The word impossible implies that it cannot happen. So I like to say it's so improbable that it may as well be impossible. So I hope that kind of like answers your question. We'll go ahead and move on. So Ron Hart saying, what is 24-word phrase if not to recover assets? So your 24-word recovery phrase, it can be used to recover your assets. If you, let's say that my Nano here, I were to enter my PIN in incorrectly 3 times and it wipes my Nano, the only way I'd be able to regain access to the accounts that I've been showing you in Ledger Live would be to import the 24-word recovery phrase that I have written down in a secret location back into this nano. And then I would be able to access the account. So it can be used for account recovery, but it is much more than that. Your recovery phrase, in fact, let me go ahead and just show you the BIP39. Because this is really important. So let's open up a new tab here. So BIP39 word list. I like to usually go to the GitHub to look at it. So check it out. This is all recovery phrases. Your recovery phrase, my recovery phrase, everyone's recovery phrase is some combination of these words on this list, 2048 total words. So one thing to keep in mind about this list is every single word on this list is uniquely identifiable by the first 4 letters. So that means that only the first 4 letters are truly relevant for the word. However, when you're writing it down, make sure to write down the entire word, because if you only write down the first 4 letters, that can cause its own brand of confusion when trying to, years later, trying to recover your assets. So it's best just to put the entire word. However, if anyone has gone through the steps to import your recovery phrase into your nano, to like restore from recovery phrase, you'll notice that as you type in letters on your nano, it's going to narrow down the words, and by the 4th letter, it already knows what word you're trying to enter. So that's kind of one way to think about like only needing the first 4 characters. But yeah, so you saw the BIP39 word list. So your seed phrase is it can be converted into it's in Word format to make it much easier to like write down and keep track of and understand like what it is and know what it is. But after it's converted, it becomes this incredibly long string of characters that become your master private key for all of your accounts. And so this is very helpful, because trying to store a master private key derived from a recovery phrase would be like, it'd be like a crazy amount of character. Like you wouldn't want to do that. This makes things much easier, much more user friendly. If that word can even be applied to anything crypto related. However, yes, that's what your 24 recovery phrase is. It's actually a converted version of your master private key for your account. So in all intents and purposes, your recovery phrase is your crypto accounts. It's where all your crypto accounts come from. So that's another way to think about it. Uh, 808 Biggie says clearing cache erases XRP toolkit data. Okay, yeah, that may be how it works in XRP toolkit, but not in Ledger Live. When will VeChain be supported in Ledger Live? That's a good question. VeChain, I know that we've got a Nano app, and you can actually connect to the Sync wallet. I think it's actually the Sync 2 wallet to manage your assets. And this is the same process connecting to any of the other wallets that I've shown you today. Well, the process is a little bit different, but what's happening behind the curtains is exactly the same. And it's very safe, very secure. As for full support in Ledger Live, I don't know. I would have to reach out to our VeChain team, our developer team, to find out what the progress is on that. But I do know that it's one of many, many cryptos in a long list that need to be integrated fully into Ledger Live. And yeah, our team is working on it, but I can't give you an exact time for that. But it's still possible to manage your VeChain very securely via cold storage, via your Nano device and the Sync 2 wallet. And it's pretty seamless. Actually, I'll drop the, in case you haven't already set that up, I'll just drop that support article for you here. Ooh, all right. All right. So Mirzen is saying, asking rather, do you think it's safer to split a large portfolio in 2 different hardware wallets with different seeds, or use passphrases? A passphrase question. Yeah, that's cool. I love talking about passphrases. Keep in mind the passphrase looks like Yeah, it looks like Jay's already kind of mentioned it a little bit. It's commonly referred to as a 25th word. So your passphrase it's a pretty cool feature. I would say, to answer your question before I go off on a tangent and get totally derailed, um, it really depends on how you manage your own security. Like, for instance, if you have your passphrase written down somewhere, like maybe like near your recovery phrase, then probably not. However, like, so the idea of memorizing a recovery phrase is it's kind of hard. Some people can do it. There's memory experts out there that can memorize things. I'm not one of them, so I definitely keep mine physically written down somewhere. Um, but the cool thing about a passphrase is the passphrase allows you to derive a completely separate set of accounts by using only one word. Technically, your passphrase can be up to 120 characters in length, and so it can be a whole phrase if you want it to be a whole phrase. It can also include special characters, and passphrases are case sensitive. That is very important to remember. Unlike the normal recovery phrases from the BIP 39 word list, which are not case sensitive, it doesn't matter if they're upper or lowercase. A passphrase does matter. So if you have like a weird word with a bunch of random uppercase and lowercase characters, you're going to have to remember which ones are which in order to regain access to your accounts. Um, so I would say that if used properly, the passphrase is probably offers potentially a higher level of security because it grants a user the ability to create a seed phrase, store that in a safe location, and then on top of the seed phrase, generate a passphrase from which your accounts are derived. And so if someone were to steal your recovery phrase and try to access any of your accounts, none of your accounts exist on your 24-word recovery phrase. Your accounts all exist on the passphrase. And so at that point, and if you do this, you would probably want multiple copies. Like, it's up to you how you do this. But just know that they are completely separate, but dependent upon one another. So like, let's say that you set up a passphrase and you lose your recovery phrase, your 24-word recovery phrase, but you know your passphrase because it's easy for you to remember. You're still not going to be able to access your accounts without also having your recovery phrase. So while it can be a very powerful tool to help people like significantly increase their security, it can also be a detriment or a downfall if something bad were to happen, like the situation I just described. So it really just depends on your level of expertise, your level of knowledge, and what you're comfortable with. But yeah, we can talk more about passphrases if you want. But let me scroll down because it looks like we're getting low on time, and I want to try to answer as many questions as I can. All right. Oh, thanks, Yaniv. Yeah, appreciate that. um, see, yeah, Jay confirmed that. I'd like to show you guys the phrase feature here in a minute if we can get through the rest of these questions. But oh yeah, Ron, the Nano S Plus doesn't have Bluetooth. It doesn't have a battery. You can only connect via wire. I don't know what kind of phone you have, but if you have an Android phone, you can actually connect your Nano S Plus directly to your Android and sign transactions. It's very seamless. However, if you have an iPhone, the only device that'll connect to that as of right now is the Nano X with via Bluetooth. Okay. Dirty's asking about his Crow Wallet transaction history being non-existent. I actually got a couple cases about this, and I believe it's an issue that's actually been reported. So one thing you can do is you can download the Crypto.org DeFi wallet. It's a wallet that you can download onto your desktop, onto your computer, and then you can connect your Nano to that, and you can manage your Crow assets outside of Ledger Live. But I believe this is an ongoing issue that just recently popped up. So if you're experiencing this and if clearing your cache doesn't work, and if your Ledger Live is fully updated to the most recent version, which I believe is 2.55.0, and you're still having this issue, then reach out to us at our support and we'll help you get hooked up with the crypto.org DeFi desktop wallet. All right. KO13 is saying, hello, I was sending BTC from one Ledger wallet to another in Ledger Live, and I noticed when I checked the transaction under the send address, there were two account addresses. Transaction went through. Yeah, Bitcoin's a little confusing, and it's a little weird to look at on the Block Explorer. So what you're experiencing right now is what's known as the UTXO method for Bitcoin, the account creation. So you've probably noticed, like, every time you receive funds into your Bitcoin account and you generate your wallet address, it's a different address each time. Like, it's going to be a totally different address, but yet your Bitcoin always goes to your Bitcoin account. And the reason for this is it's a feature that Bitcoin has to increase anonymity on the blockchain. So that basically it's much harder to track a person's transactions. And it actually works very similar to cash in this way. So think about, so with your Bitcoin account, you have what's called your XPub, which is your master public key for your account. That stays static. That always stays the same. In fact, I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to show you real quick where you can find that. So you come here, you go to your accounts, go to Bitcoin. I don't have any assets, but you can come up here to the little wrench icon, and you go to advanced, and you can see here you have an XPub, a string of characters right here. This is your XPub account. This will always stay the same. And if someone has your XPub address for your account, they'll be able to see all of your accounts for your Bitcoin wallet. They'll be able to see all your assets, your entire Bitcoin balance. So so basically your XPub address derives an unlimited amount of change addresses or UTXO addresses, which are different every time. And so when you send Bitcoin out of your Bitcoin wallet, let's say I send every week, I buy $20 worth of Bitcoin, send it to my wallet. After 5 weeks, I have $100 worth of Bitcoin in my wallet, spread out over 5 different UTXOs, over 5 different wallet addresses with $20 each. Let's say I want to send $50 to my friend to his or her Bitcoin account. I send the Bitcoin. It's going to pull the $20 in the first 3 wallet addresses, enough to cover the amount of the transaction. So UTXO 1, 2, and 3. So it's going to send $60 worth of Bitcoin to the friend, and then it's going to send back in the change address. It's going to generate a new UTXO address that now has $10 worth of Bitcoin in it, which is the change. Think about it like buying something at the store with, you give a $100 bill at the store for something that costs, $80, you're going to get $20 in change. Bitcoin works very much the same way. And so that's what you're seeing with the transactions. Bitcoin's super cool. It's great. It's great for that. All right, let's see. How do we add Gala coin to Nano X? That's a good question. I'm not too familiar with Gala. Let me show you what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to come over back here to CoinGecko, and I'm going to look up Gala. Oops. All right. Oh, sweet. Okay. So let's see. So it looks like it is an ERC20 token built on top of Ethereum. I can tell because the Explorer is Etherscan, and it's got a Ethereum token contract address right here. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to come over here to here. I'm going to search here for this contract address. And then I can see Gala. Yeah, so we fully support the Gala token in Ledger Live already. So basically all you have to do is send your Gala token straight to your Ethereum wallet address. And then, so you'll go here. Oh, wrong view. So you'll go here to your Ethereum account. You're going to generate your Ethereum wallet address, send it there. And once it's received, it's going to show up inside your address as a token, just like these tokens. It'll say Gala, and you'll see your balance right there. Back. All right. Yeah, that's a good question. We're still working on that. The question I'm answering is from Himmel, asking about ADA staking in Ledger Live. We are working on that, and ADA is a very popular blockchain, and so it's definitely a high priority. So, but for now, you can just connect to Eternal. I showed the steps earlier, or you can connect to Yori or Daedalus, whichever wallet you're comfortable with. And you're gonna have to manage your stake from there for now until we're able to get that going. But once we are able to get that going, then everything will just be appear in your Cardano account in Ledger Live. So you won't have to like migrate over, unstake. You won't have to do anything like that. All right. Yeah, yeah, KO13. Just wondering why there was two send addresses under one transaction. Yeah, yeah, that was the UTXOs I was talking about. So it was probably to cover the transaction amount. It probably had to send Bitcoin from two of your different UTXOs to cover the amount that you wanted to transact. CZ, nice name by the way, is asking when is Ledger going to get a banking license? I don't know if that's going to happen. Again, this is way above my pay grade. I'm just a lowly support agent. But I guess anything can happen, but nothing that I'm aware of. 808 Biggie says, thank you. Yes, I do have 9 nano. Nice. Yeah, I got a bunch too. It gets pretty confusing having a lot of nanos. Um, no, I told you, didn't I? It's asking if you can order stacks yet. We have not opened up pre-orders again for the stacks. They will be open soon, but for now, it's yeah, it's on hold for now. Yeah, same with Hari asking about the stacks. I don't really have many updates on that. That's definitely more of a like marketing team that puts out the notifications on that. But from last I heard, it's still on hold, but things are progressing from what I've heard. Yeah, Mary Zen, no problem. Yeah, I hope I answered your question. I was hoping to kind of like we're already over time. I was hoping to really show you next week. Yeah, maybe we'll be able to show more cool stuff with the passphrase. So it's a really cool feature, like really powerful feature. Yeah, I see 2014 definitely. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm glad I can help you. Yeah, Jonathan RSK, is it possible to make sub accounts within the same device? Definitely. Yeah, this is actually an important one. Here, the big. All right, so you'll see I have this ETH account already here. When I added this in, it only gave me the one option earlier. I don't know if you were here, but I actually removed this account, added it back in, just kind of show that process. But if I go to, so you can only add one account at a time in Ledger Live. So you can add only the first ETH account, and then you can add the second one. So basically, from a single recovery phrase can derive an infinite amount of accounts from any blockchain. So I don't know if you saw the step when I was connecting to MetaMask, but it had 5 different options. That was the first 5 addresses that can be derived from my seed phrase inside this nano. So yeah, you can make as many different ETH accounts as you want, as many different any accounts as you want, sub accounts. But remember the order that you derive them in, because that may be important later if you're ever trying to recover your assets. Let's say you have like 15 ETH accounts and you have like your big bag of ETH is on like your 12th ETH account, and then your Ledger Live gets reset, and you're like, oh my gosh, where the heck is all my ETH? You're going to need to remember, well, you don't have to remember. I mean, you can go through process of elimination, just keep adding in each account, but it'd be helpful at that point to know exactly which ETH account has your ETH or any other asset that you're dealing with. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So it looks like this is going to be the final question. I got down to the bottom. Awesome. But Michael Govier, I hope I pronounced that right. Sorry if I didn't. Is asking, can assets that had poison drops be used safely, i.e., swapping another asset? And the answer is yes. So I have a really cool example of this wallet address here. Let me see if I can find it. This is really important. Yes, I did change. I did save it. Okay, this is from a user that I was helping earlier. Let me switch back here to this shot. Oh, I'm already on that shot. Okay, sweet. Go here. Let's go to Etherscan. Oh, actually, I don't even have to do that. I have to hold. Okay. So Yeah, so Michael was asking about address poisoning. Check it out. So Etherscan does a really good job. So here's this ETH account. You'll see here a couple different methods. So you'll see that you have this right here, these zero value transactions. This is address poison. This is what it looks like. So basically, anybody can sign or can send zero value transfers from any other wallet on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a feature of the blockchain. It's not possible to physically extract someone's ETH from their account. But you can send these like weird zero value transactions. And so check this out. So this person has routinely sent Tether. You'll see this transaction of 100,000 Tether that was sent to this wallet address. You'll see here that this wallet address looks very similar to this wallet address, and it's a zero value transfer. This is address poisoning. This is some scammer out there use complex software to derive an ETH wallet address that is similar to this one, but different, and then initiated this zero value transfer. And the whole point of this is to try to trick a person like, oh, yeah, I send Tether to this address all the time. Oh, yeah, that looks right. I'm just going to copy this from my transaction history, and I'm going to send to this wallet address. You should never do that because address poisoning is affecting so many people, and there's really no way to stop it at this point. There are some steps, like in Ledger Live, you won't see these zero value transfers anymore. We filter them out automatically to help protect our users. And then furthermore, on Etherscan, you'll see that they are also flagging this as being initiated by another address. And then, but furthermore, this the scammer also generated fake ERC20 Tether tokens and initiated fake transactions from this account as well, also to a similar wallet address. And so basically, let me switch back. Oh, I'll stay on this for a minute. So you'll see this one says Tether, and it's very obviously Tether. And then this one also says Tether, but you'll look here in the true Tether, this token right here, it's got this very specific contract address for Tether. You come over here to this one, totally different contract address, totally different token, not Tether. So this is just another way that a scammer can, hang on, let me switch back a moment. There we go. This is just another way that a scammer can try to trick the user into signing this transaction and into copying this address from the transaction history. This is why you should always go through the steps to generate your receive address from Ledger Live whenever you're receiving assets. And whenever you're sending assets, never copy a wallet address from your transaction because these scammers are very clever and they trick so many people, like very advanced users, not newbies, not people who don't know what they're doing. These are like advanced users are like, yo, like I just sent all my funds to this address. I send it to it all the time. What happened? Where are my funds? And we take a look at it and it's like, did you copy that from your transaction history? That was an address poisoning address. So be very aware of that. Furthermore, the same can actually be said for, let me switch back. All this switching around all the time. But fortunately, we've got this Polygon account where scam NFTs are very prevalent. We open this up right here. So this right here is a scam NFT, I assume, that was dropped in my wallet. I didn't buy this NFT. I didn't want this in my wallet or whatever. So yeah, it's, if it says airdrop or if it's trying to get you to do something, like look at this description here, go to this website, unismeta.org. That is not Uniswap's website. I don't know what this is. I don't want to know what this is. But so the best thing that I can do is just like hide this from my portfolio. So I think I can click here, hide NFT collection, and just kind of make it go away. It doesn't make it actually go away in my account, but it does actually, it makes it so that I can't see it. You can't stop these things from coming into your account. Public wallet addresses are exactly that. They're public. Anyone can get their hands on it. And they may not know who you are, but you can look at a blockchain. You can say like, oh wow, look at all these Polygon addresses that have all these valuable assets. I'm going to drop some scam stuff into these wallets and hope that I can trick this person into giving up some of their assets to me. So I just showed you a couple of the ways that this happens. Scam NFTs, scam tokens, scam scam whatever. Like it's all scam. So if you ever do get anything with that, just don't interact with it. They can't actually affect the actual real assets in your wallet. Like they can't steal your funds. They can't hack your computers. Nothing that can be done. It's really just the hope that you do something that ends up resulting in your funds going to them. That you make a mistake as a user. Yeah, I hope that kind of clears that up a little bit and answers that. Yeah, you're all very welcome. Pauline, awesome. Yeah, you have Gala in your Ledger Live. Cool. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah, fully supported token. And then last thing, I know I said that several times. Yeah, revoking token allowance is something to learn. Very valuable. Man, I'm already way past. Let me show you real quick though. Let's go back. All right, open up a new tab. Come here to revoke.cash. That's the website, revoke.cash. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my MetaMask is set. Okay, cool. My ledger's connected. We got everything. Let's see if I have any open approvals. We're going to connect. Oh, not the ledger. We are going to connect. It says Tally right here, but that'll actually open up MetaMask. We're going to connect this wallet. Look at that. Right here. I have an allowance right here for Uniswap. I've allowed Uniswap because I swap for Crow on Uniswap. And I also use, look at that, here's my Polygon bridge that I used, the Plasma bridge to bridge from ETH to Polygon. I had to give them an allowance. So you see here, I've got 2 allowances. So technically, Uniswap, the contract owner for this, can go in and access these Crow in my wallet. So if I want from here, I can actually revoke this. So I'll go to Ethereum, we'll open that up on the Nano since I'm using MetaMask. I'm going to go ahead and revoke that. It's going to open up the transaction. So right here, this is the Fire Web3 app. This thing's pretty cool. This will also further confirm. Go here. I approve this. It's going to cost me a little bit of gas, but that's okay. View the transaction. Boom, we're going to revoke that. You can see right there, it's already revoking. Yeah, so I just removed Uniswap's permission to access the Crow in that wallet. And I'm going to do the same thing with this Polygon bridge as soon as we end this call, because I didn't even know that I had that permission still. But yeah, I think that I actually have to leave now because I'm like 15 minutes over. But yeah, you guys asked amazing questions today. I'm really glad I was able to show you guys this stuff and help you out. We usually do this every week on Wednesday. Yesterday we had a really busy day, so we had to push it back to today. But normally we do this stream at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Wednesdays. And normally I'll have someone else with me. Today I kind of had to solo it, but it worked out really well. But yeah, come back every Wednesday. If you guys got questions, you want us to show you something, I'll show you anything I can. Anything that I have access to, I'll show you how to do it. And I'll always be straight with you. So yeah, I appreciate you coming out, and it's been a lot of fun. And